Chris Parker here for the Leader Matters podcast, 100 lessons in leadership from Parker Resources. We're on lesson 8. We're getting there. We're on lesson 8. I'm really excited you guys have made it this far with me and looking forward to continuing this all of 2022. And hopefully people will listen to this for years to come, be able to help them in some capacity. So getting some great feedback on this. If there's things that you want to add or you want to give me some feedback, which is one of the lessons we talk about, is being able to evaluate, reflect, feel free to reach out to me and give me some feedback on this. Really gotten some good feedback so far. So in a time when we really need leaders more than ever, I would argue more than ever, but I haven't always been around. But in my time, it feels like leadership is what's really separating the great organizations from the good or the average or the below average. Is a matter of who is leading the organization and how much better can they be at being a leader. And so there's no magic program for being a leader. You're going to have to just work and build these tiny little decisions that you make over and over and over again to build relationships, communicate better, and to build toughness. And today we're on lesson 8, which is there is no buy-in without trust. And guys, having trust in each other, having trust in the leader, having trust in your colleagues, if you're coaching, having trust in your players, whatever it is, that trust it's a word we throw out there that just kind of rolls off and you don't think much of. But that one 5-letter word is very, very, very important to success. Relationships lead to trust. So last time we talked about putting relationships over everything, and we're going to continue this series talking about a lot of specific ways you can put relationships over everything. But before we get there, we want to talk about relationships leading to trust and how important trust is in success. The best teams trust each other. That can be an organization, a sports team, whatever. The best teams trust each other. That doesn't mean they agree all the time. That means they develop trust. The leader works to develop trust, and they have trusted each other or trying their best. How often have you been at a job where maybe you didn't think everybody there was trying their best? Or maybe you weren't trying your best. That's an even bigger problem. But that's not a good culture. That's not, if people in the organization are questioning the others, if they're trying their best, there's no trust. There's no trust there. And when there's no trust, it can't be as good as it can be. You can have some success without trust. You can't be as great as you can be without trust. That means the team believes in you. The team, if the team believes in you, we talked last time, the leader, they think you, the leader, have the team's best interest at heart. So you may disagree. You may hear different things. You may hear different points of view, but you decide stuff based on what's best for the team because they trust that you'll do. It seems really simple, but it's really hard to attain. And if you can ever get people to disagree and still promote your plan, to take advice or listen to tough conversations, that's when you know you got some trust. So those are the things you're looking for when you're talking about trust. What are some ways that you can help develop trust with your team? Well, the unfortunate answer to that question is it's not going to happen overnight. It's going to take many, 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 many small decisions that build relationships. Those relationships are going to lead to them trusting. We're going to talk in the next several weeks about how ways you can show people that you care. You can be honest with them. You can get to know them. You can put yourself in their shoes. These are all things that you do to develop that relationship, but it's a long process to get somebody to trust you, and that's okay. But when you get it, greatness follows. And that's what you're really listening for. It's what you're looking for as a leader of an organization. Can I develop trust with these people? So even when we disagree, we can work together. Even when I have to tell them something they don't want to hear, they trust that I wouldn't be telling them if I didn't have to. One of the exercises to do for that, and we're going to have a whole series way down the line about team building activities and exercises you can do, but it's okay to talk about your strengths and weaknesses. Sometimes showing some weakness is a way that people start to trust you as a leader. You can have, and if you got a leadership meeting in your organization, or that's a coaching staff or whatever it is, have the entire group talk about things they do well, things they need to work on. Everybody has things they do well and things they need to work on. I do, I'm an HR, I do interviews for a living. One of the questions I love to ask is, tell us about your strengths, but then tell us about your weaknesses. And you'd be surprised how many people struggle to answer the weakness question. I think it's important that you know the things you need to improve on. It doesn't show any negative about you to have things you need to improve on. And when you're in tune with those things, that's very powerful. And if you can share them with the group, that's really putting yourself out there. So, you know, if you're in an organization and you have the opportunity to do that, talk freely about your strengths and weaknesses. Work on each other's weaknesses, you know, encourage each other. This is one way that you can gain a significant amount of trust in the organization. But remember, that's going to happen slow. It's going to be a slow process, not going to happen overnight. Show them you care, be honest, get to know them, put yourself in their shoes, all things that we're going to talk about specifically in the next several episodes. So stay tuned, and hopefully we can work together, build those relationships, and relationships turn into trust. At Parker Resources, we're on social media, podcasts, books, whatever. I mentioned at the beginning, give me some feedback if you have some on ways you make this more helpful, or maybe something that's going really well that you like, make sure I don't change, because I really want to make this series helpful for people who want to be leaders. You know, this is a hobby. It's exciting for me to do, and I really hope these 100 lessons will be helpful for all the leaders out there. So thanks for listening, and let us know if we can help you in any way. We'll see you next time.